Hello guys, welcome back to another crypto market update. And at the point of making this video, the Bitcoin price, at least in the short term, has confirmed a bearish trend by a close below the weekly 50 moving average. There's a lot of fear in the market right now. And to be fully honest, yes, there is a good reason for people to be a little bit cautious right now, as the entire crypto market is turning towards the bearish trend. There are a lot of warning signs showing up everywhere in the chart right now, but I just saw a signal that is indicating a different information entirely, and I need to talk to you about what I am personally doing. And if we continue to trend downwards from here, I'm going to talk about exactly what I'm going to do. You will also learn about the reasons why people are so fearful right now, and also why I think the big whales, the manipulators of the market, they are trying to shake you out. Make sure to stick around from the beginning until the end of this video. Welcome back to Cryptogiant once again, where we bring you cryptocurrency and trading videos every day. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. So let's get straight into it. What you can see is that we have lost the 50-week moving average with a huge candle close below it. And ever since then, there has been a lot of momentum to the downside, and this is one of the major reasons that there is a lot of fear in the market at the moment. And anybody that is fearful now have a very good reason to be scared, as this 50-week moving average has been a major support zone for Bitcoin price. Looking at the previous price action, anytime we get to this moving average, the price tends to bounce back to the upside. But right now, with this major impulsive candle to the downside, it could be an indication to the beginning for a major downtrend. As it has happened before in the past, looking at this place, this was December 2021, and a close below the 50 EMA was the beginning of a major bear market. And it took over 400 days, over a year, for the price to get back above the 50 moving average again, and continue to the upside after that. So, could this close below the 50 moving average be the beginning of another downtrend in the Bitcoin price? Of course, it can happen, but there is something I think you guys need to see. If we go over to this chart, you will notice that anytime there is a new all-time high created, at least for the past 3 all-time highs that have been created, we have seen a consistent correction of 30 to 35%. This correction here after a new all-time high was made back in 2024. This was January 2025 when we got a new all-time high, and after that we saw a correction of 31%. This one is also showing the same price action. So this could be a minor correction as it used to be in the Bitcoin price. If we are most likely to get that 33% to 35% drop after an all-time high, we are likely to expect the Bitcoin price to get to $84,000 to $80,000 before we can get a reverse to the upside. And looking at that $84,000 to $80,000 price level, you can see we have a very good support zone. Of course, the whales, the manipulators, they are going to try to push us down below this point, close below this point, and then they might still pump the price back up because they know that a lot of people are watching this moving average. So that's something you have to keep in mind. I still believe that we might see a better reaction to the upside from this point, but with that being said, there is still a lot of room to the downside as the Bitcoin price is currently breaking a major support zone on this weekly chart. If you guys have been watching our videos lately, you will remember we have been speaking about this. We talked about this bearish divergence on the Bitcoin price. I've been talking about this bearish divergence on the Bitcoin price for over the past few weeks for now. If you go back to my videos, you will see that I was mentioning this bearish divergence when the Bitcoin price was around 112,000. And I remember mentioning that we are going to experience either a minor volume to the upside or a major break to the downside, which it's eventually did. Right now, we are also trading below a major support, though there are still room for the price to reclaim this support and start to come up above. But if we are not able to see something like that, I expect another support around 80 to 75K that we talked about on this chart. So currently, the bearish divergence is still playing out. Expect the invalidation when we start seeing the RSI trading above this trend line. And speaking of the previous bearish divergence that we have got, you can see it is from this high to this high. We got 31% correction after that, and we have seen a drop of 28% to 29% on this current divergence. If we are to get similar price action like the previous one, I expect more price movement to the downside for the moment, as we fail to reclaim this support over the next week or so. Moving down to the lower time frame, on the Bitcoin 2-day chart, we still have our chart as usual, this rising channel playing out exactly as I predicted. Remember when I drew this line? I said that we are most likely to get 93,000 Bitcoin price. I also talked about this support right here, that we might get support between 101 to 100,000, which we did. We had a little support here before breaking to the downside. still believe that we are going to fill this gap completely and come to this major demand zone around 80 to 84K, or maybe even trade below that before we can see another bullish move to the upside. Also on the daily chart, the daily has eventually confirmed a bearish trend. I remember sending this warning signal to our Telegram channel when the Bitcoin price was around 106,000. This was the signal. I said that if the price could not hold this daily support at 106K, that our next target will be around 98K, which it did exactly as I predicted. You can join our Telegram channel from the link in the description below to get market updates like this. The price eventually played out exactly as I predicted. You can see it got to 98K, a little support here, and we continue moving to the downside ever since then. Looking at the price action on the daily chart, you will notice we still have a lot of gaps on the downside that's going to be filled up. This is the demand zone that I'm expecting the price of Bitcoin to get to, so I expect more bearish movement for the moment, though we might see a minor sideways move to the upside before we continue to the downside. Also, Ethereum has confirmed a bearish price action. After breaking this major support zone, we had a break and retest to this support zone, which later turned into resistance. And since then, the price has been trading to the downside. So the price action for Ethereum right now is a downtrend. You can see we are making higher low and lower highs since. And of course, if the Bitcoin price has more room to the downside, expect Ethereum and other altcoins to have a bearish price movement also. But altcoins are holding more stronger than Bitcoin for the moment. So there's a lot of negative sentiments, and I think that it might continue for a short while.